A new report says an autopsy concluded that carbon monoxide poisoning led to the deaths of 3 American tourists at a sandals resort in the Bahamas earlier this month. The victims' families now asking for a second independent autopsy in their search for answers. Here to weigh in, Fox News contributor Dr. Marty Makary. Doc, should the families of the victims be satisfied with this report, or should they be skeptical and want a second autopsy?
Well, they should be a little skeptical that toxicology reports have actually not been released. They should ask to see them. But we do know that carbon monoxide poisoning does kill about 400 to 500 people a year, and it is something that does happen. And there may be a plausible mechanism if you put all the pieces together in the circumstances of what happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out, trying to visualize a standard hotel room. Where would carbon monoxide come out of the various things that are in a hotel room? My first instinct is the heat or air conditioner, but anywhere else?
I mean, it's possible that a gas oven or range could release carbon monoxide. It could be that there's a garage where cars are parked within the building and perhaps a channel by which that gas could go into the room. So those are all possibilities.
When you heard that pesticide theory from people in the hotel saying they smelt a strong smell of pesticide, carbon monoxide has no smell. Pesticide, obviously, in many cases, does. Would you travel down that path and do a little bit more research on the pesticide angle? Because to me, if other people were smelling that, that could be cause for concern, at least in my estimation.
That's right. Look, that's a very good point, Todd, and I think you have to assume it's an environmental exposure until proven otherwise. Carbon monoxide is classically odorless and a colorless gas, so you would not expect any odor. So the pieces really right now don't fit together.
If they had called for help like they did, I mean, they weren't feeling real great. They went inside, got some treatment. Could they have been saved, or at some point is your body just so compromised that nothing can be done once carbon monoxide enters your system?
Well, first of all, carbon monoxide poisoning does act really quickly. People within a matter of minutes can lose consciousness, and the treatment is pretty simple: get people to a better air source. So it is possible that even a matter of seconds could have made a big difference in trying to help these individuals.
A complete tragedy. So many unanswered questions still at this point. Meantime, you are calling out a CDC advisory panel for approving COVID boosters for kids, as Pfizer is looking to jab kids as young as 6 months. Why are you coming out so strongly against this panel, Doc?
Well, again, the Biden administration's FDA was completely bypassed in convening their technical experts, their advisory committee. These are the top vaccine experts in the country. Many had signaled that they're not on board with this recommendation to give a booster to 24 million 5 through 11-year-olds. And so when you make such a sweeping recommendation for the entire country with such strong vigor, ordering all 24 million children in the country 5 through 11 to get a booster, you should convene your technical experts. Instead, they put it in front of a CDC committee, which is well known to fire people who have dissenting opinions. They did that with Dr. Martin Kaldor from Harvard last year. And the conversation was incredible. There was no clinical data to support the booster for 5 through 11-year-olds. Instead, they cited a small study done by Pfizer of 140 children in that age group, looking at no outcomes, but instead the antibody bump you get after the booster. And the committee actually said, we want a simple message. We're concerned about having a confusing message if these kids are not getting a booster and older people are. That is not a scientific rationale.
It doesn't make a lot of sense, Doc. You gave a great explanation there. We appreciate it. Dr. Marty Makary, we'll see what happens with both of these stories. Thank you, sir.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens, stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson tonight.